Hello, and welcome to the NVT Phybridge Port Security tutorial video. My name is Nico, and today we'll be looking at how to enable port security on your 10G managed switch. For starters, what is port security? Port security on a 10G managed switch is a security feature configured at the interface level to limit the amount of MAC addresses allowed access on an interface. How the switch decides which MAC addresses should be allowed is at the discretion of the network administrator. A maximum amount of allowed MAC addresses off a single interface can also be configured, and when the maximum amount is exceeded, a security violation is triggered. We can enable various forms of port security, but for now, let's focus on limiting the number of MAC addresses allowed access on an interface. This can be done both manually or dynamically through three of the following methods. Through static MAC addresses, which allow for MAC addresses to be manually configured by the administrator, not dynamically learned by the switch. Dynamic MAC addresses, which are MAC addresses that are learned dynamically by the switch. MAC addresses are then stored on the switch's MAC address table, and contents of the switch's MAC address table are lost in the event of a system reboot. Finally, sticky addresses. Sticky addresses are MAC addresses that are dynamically learned but are saved in the running configuration and are not lost in the event of a system reboot. Learning MAC addresses allow us to build a table of allowed MAC addresses. Any that do not match or exceed the learned MAC address table will be considered a violation. We can also configure a maximum number of MAC addresses on an interface. This feature can be useful when the administrator knows that only a specific number of clients will be connected at one time and would like to eliminate the possibility of unwanted clients getting access to the network. When the maximum amount of MAC addresses on an interface is exceeded, or an invalid MAC address is detected on an interface configured with port security, then a security violation is triggered. The switch will then take one of three actions: protect, restrict, or shut down. The image below demonstrates the various actions that will take place when a security protocol is put in place. Now that we have covered the general concepts of port security, we can implement them into the command line interface. First, we'll use the configure terminal command to enter global configuration mode. If we would like to make configurations on the downlink ports, then we can use the interface Gigabit Ethernet 1/1-24 command to select all downlink ports on our interface. However, if we would like to make configurations on the uplink ports, then we can use the 10 Gigabit Ethernet 1/1-2 command. For now, let's just make changes on the downlink ports. We can then select the number of permitted MAC addresses with the port-security maximum, followed by a value between 0 and 1023. For this example, let's choose 20 to be our maximum. Therefore, our command will be port-security maximum 20. After selecting the number of acceptable MAC addresses, we can then enable port security with the port-security command. Now, if we were looking to statically assign MAC addresses, we could then use the port-security MAC-address followed by the MAC address, and then we would be able to statically assign that MAC address to our switch's MAC address table. Our final configuration will be to select what violation type occurs when the number of permitted MAC addresses is exceeded. We can use the port-security violation command, followed by either protect, restrict, or shut down. In this example, we will finish this command with the shutdown option, so our command will be port-security violation shutdown. Afterwards, we can use the end command and use the copy-running config startup-config we can use the copy running-config startup-config command to save our configurations on startup. Now, if we were looking to disable the configurations that we had just made, all we would have to do is access the interface that we had made those configurations and use the no port-security command. That should undo all of the configurations for port security, and then we can save our configurations upon startup. Thank you again for watching the NVT Phybridge port security informational video. Any and all configurations for our managed switches can be found on the admin guides, which are available on our website at nvtphybridge.com. We hope this has been an informative look at port security, and we hope you have a wonderful day.